girls. So dads and daughters, this is the end of our first season. Thank you to all the viewers, everybody for watching. We've had almost 12,000 views on Facebook, on YouTube. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the producers, Steve Vaccaro, Charlie, Ray Negrone, Carmine. Thanks for everything. So we've had 3 months of shows so far. We started in October. We kicked off with our friend Johnny Damon, and we have a lot of cool clips coming at you in this half hour. So please enjoy, and let's see Johnny Damon.
Thank you guys so much. Kelly, you know how important you and your family are to the Damon family, and I wanted to say hello, and I just hope everybody is doing great in your family. Great. I know we're going through a difficult time, but Kelly, you're family to us. And anytime you want to come back to Florida and hang out and enjoy my fantastic pool, come on down.
Yeah. Johnny Nitro Damon, no introduction needed with him. And we got Mickey Ward, my boxing trainer, the guy who's going to help me go 3 rounds with that and show me some tips. But
yeah.
Ah, there's baby hairs. That's what we were looking for. Hey, little buddy.
Gosh, you were in my belly during that show.
That's
You
right.
were,
Everybody
That was
so
the
big.
reveal.
Yeah, there's my little buddy. Remember with the pool? We were
right, Danica? Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to get.
I think our favorite topic that we covered on this show was Mallory's Army. Diane Grossman focused on the topic of anti-bullying and suicide awareness. So let's see a clip of Mallory's Army.
For me, the sea of blue just represents a real rainbow of inclusion and acceptance and community. Even though Mallory passed, she is living a life of what she wanted to be when she grew up.
A little all-American little girl. She was a level 7 competitive gymnast. She loved gymnastics. She loved cheerleading. She loved arts and crafts. And she just really was the thing I use to describe Mallory is that she's just the everyday all-American little girl. You know.
What are some ways you think children and school administration can be equipped to handle bullying when it arises?
Well, I think the first thing with bullying is I think we need to understand that bullying is nothing more than really bad behavior. I think that we as a society look at bullying as this standalone thing when bullying is linked to so many other things. Bullying is just a symptom of what's going on throughout our world. So bullying is a choice. It's just bad behavior. That just because she's gone, she's not gone. That Mallory lives in each and every one of us. That if we let Mallory go, then all of our work is a moot point. That Mallory can live in all of us. You don't have to meet her to know her.
That's great. Well, Kaylin's got a great song to share with us. And I know in November 20th, you got your Breakup Proof EP coming out, right, Kaylin? So we'll share the link on our pages for that. I think the song you are going to sing for us is called Who We Are, and it's all about loving yourself. So I think that's
absolutely. I wrote this song, I'd say, when it was before I lived in Nashville. I want to say I was 16 when I wrote it. And it just has a special place in my heart because it's just a little bit about, just loving who you are. And that's something that I've had struggles with. And I think every kid, especially middle school, high school age, everyone goes through that. Even adults go through that. So
I can't wait.
Speaks to everybody.
We also had our friend Doc Gooden, Dwight Doc Gooden, focusing on the topic of addiction and recovery. So let's see Doc.
Hey, let me just say, they don't come better than Dwight Gooden. That's all I got to say on Dwight Gooden. They do not come better, even though he's giving me the twitches. They don't come better. He is the greatest, the greatest. He's beautiful, and I love him forever.
Oh, you man. Thanks, Ray, for the kind words, man. I feel the same towards you. And that picture, Mike, you could have got a better picture than I'm a better looking guy than a picture.
Much better.
And like you said, I couldn't have made. I always tell people in 1995, I probably wouldn't be here. Well, I'm sure I wouldn't be here today. And I mean, living when I say that, if it wasn't for Ray Negrone. And I mean that. You mean a lot to me. Like you said, me being grateful to you I think it's the other way around. And I'll listen.
And Doc, I want to thank you again. You're my best friend for all you do.
Thank you for having me.
Loyal
Thank you for
friend.
having me. I love you guys. Ray, Steve, love you guys. Ray, talking to you tomorrow, buddy.
Go Giants.
Thank you.
Our very first segment on Dads and Daughters was a favorite of ours, Gabby Angelini, who is on the Kelly Clarkson show and has a coffee shop called what, Kelly?
Gabby's Grounds.
And Kelly works for them now as well. Pretty cool.
Money to open her own cafe where she'll employ people like herself with disabilities. So please welcome Gabby along with her mother Mary.
Awesome clip. Hey, Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Being our first guest on our show. This is a very special premiere. I don't know if it's as cool as Kelly Clarkson, but hey.
Yeah. What do you hope people get from your coffee shop and your mission?
It's great. And that's Michelle Damon, Johnny's lovely wife. And
we had a great episode with Jerry Cooney focusing on YCS and a fight night. Fight of the century, June 5th. Dempsey versus Cooney, right, Kelly? Jenna, who's going to win? Baby Jack or Jerry Cooney?
Not you.
Not me. Okay.
I grew up watching you in the ring with Kenny Norton, Larry, and all that. And to, all these years later, to be actually, hopefully, finally, to get in the ring and do what we spoke we were going to.
You see me smiling, bro? You're in trouble, bro.
I know I am.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Hey, sometimes charity hurts. And we'll see June 5th who's going to. But let's go.
Kelly, tell him don't do it. Kelly, tell him don't do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Cover it up. No, but it's going to be.
I have seen you through these last couple of years. We've been together training with Antonio Tarver, Mickey Ward, showing you good stuff. I mean, listen, these guys are great fighters. They were great. They had the heart of a lion, and I see it in you growing as you're training with them. But I am also seeing a couple of flaws. Even though I like that T-shirt a lot you have on there.
Yeah, that's right.
And we do, once I see it once, I see it twice. The third time you got to pay, bro. You got to pay.
No, I know.
I had my boxing trainer, Irish Mickey Ward, with us for the first episode as well. So let's see a clip of Irish Mickey.
Let's see if I can make it. But the whole theme of that, guys, go. There we go. Look at those guns.
Yeah.
The whole theme is going the distance.
One day we brought him to the gym, me and my brother Dickie, and we had him he was in a wheelchair his whole life pretty much.
We also had Marty Lyons and his foundation, Linda Ramo. We had Super Dave, Wally Simpson, a great, cool segment on the amazing Marty Lyons Foundation. So let's take a look at that clip real quick.
Hey, Mike, Marty Lyons here. Congratulations on your new show, Dad and Daughters. I think it's great. I think having your daughters, Kelly and Jenna, on there, that builds that special bond, and that shows people what the bond between a father and daughter should be. I know I have a daughter named Megan. I always tell her she's my favorite daughter, but she's quick to remind me she's my only daughter, and I keep reminding her that she still would be my favorite daughter. So do a great job, bring that into the living room, let all the fathers know what their responsibilities should be.
Time to help generate some funds because so many of our fundraisers had to be canceled this year, including my golf tournament.
Well, we met last year at Marty's first North Carolina event that Lynn put together. It was amazing.
The golf tournament.
And the golf outing, yeah. And I came up with this crazy idea.
David Simpson and Super Dave. This is Mike Dempsey with some friends here from the movie Vacation, and we have a special Make-A-Wish.
And we also had another cool Make-A-Wish segment based on Yankee legend Jim Leyritz, my good friend. Experiences for Causes, thanks to Nick Singh, Ray Negron, and Jim Leyritz.
Jim Leyritz is a champion. Jim Leyritz has been doing that stuff since he hit those big home runs, and he took that beautiful scenario of what he accomplished in New York to share with the young people that really need the help.
There and all right, I said Matthew McConaughey. But Jim is the most popular, engaging celebrity that comes out every year. Cantor Fitzgerald always asks me.
But no, Mike, one of the things that, listening to the interview before, and, I think with Nick and with Ray and yourself, all of us on this cast right now, it's all about giving back. It's all about using what we've been given, what God has blessed us. I know the influence with Ray just as much as me was George Steinbrenner, and to see how that changed their life and gave them an opportunity that they would normally wouldn't have had, changed my way of thinking and realizing that the platform that I'm given because of a ball player, because of a talent that I was given, that able to do things for other people is more important than any home run or anything else I could possibly do. That, and I've been blessed to have you in the 9/11, to have Ray Negron with the Yankees, to have Nick with the Experience for Causes, and of course Pink Tie, which I do in Long Island, with charity that helps all charities.
And one of our very good friends, a guy I've known for many years, who Kelly and I go every year to visit in Asheville, North Carolina, Yankee legend Brian Doyle, one of my great friends. Let's take a look at Brian.
Right, 438 batting average and stellar second base, taking over for Willie when Willie was injured. And I was a kid. That was my first year I watched the Yankees, and Brian became my hero as a kid growing up in Brooklyn. And just to know that all those years later, to be such a role model and father figure in my life and to my daughter is incredible. Brian through a guy named Yogi Berra. I mean, okay. Golf outings. So that was a great introduction. You can't get better than Yogi. And you know,
Mike, that's so. I'm glad you said that, because the scripture says that when we help the poor, we help the needy, we are lending to the Lord. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Kelly, you guys are awesome.
Awesome,
and your
Michael,
show's on
Kelly.
Sunday. Kelly, you're a brave hero. You're a youth hero now. Congratulations, dads and daughters, every
Thank
Sunday.
you, Brian.
From 6
Appreciate
to 6:30.
you. Appreciate you, Brian.
We also had a highlight of Ethan Cheng, our friend, who has fundraised for an organization called Splashes for Hope, and he's got a special buddy named Wesley Walker, New York Jet legend. So let's take a look at that.
Incredible, dude. You got some great dance moves. You busted out some moves there. I'm impressed. I was a little embarrassed, but hey,
I know, man. I was like, I can't believe they're selling this.
Yeah, it's all good. No, that was special, and you know, also I think you're also a fundraiser for the Splashes for Hope organization. They do a lot of great work, a nonprofit creating art to transform spaces, enrich environments, and healing, and incredible work that you did to raise money for that. But Kelly wants to ask you a quick question about your former Jet that sent in the video. He wanted to join the call tonight, and you have a special relationship, Ethan, with number 85, Wesley Walker. So let's see if we got a clip of that.
Hi, Ethan. It's Wesley Walker, your former gym teacher. I miss you. I'm a friend of Mike Dempsey's. I'm so unhappy that I can't be with you tonight or in the future, and maybe we can put something together. But I miss you. I remember going to your dance recital, and I admired you for a long time. You probably don't know that, but you are my role model. And I wish you much success and a great show. And hopefully we can get together and do a show together.
Also, a special segment we did with my old Midwood High School football buddy and captain, Dave Paris, survived COVID-19. Inspirational story, we brought a lot of my old high school football teammates back, and we had a cool high school reunion. Let's take a look.
Strength. I mean, you were the strongest dude we ever had in our football team, but I want to go into that in a minute. But I got to tell you, that was the acrobatic dance and the salsa community, and man, you were a legend in that world as well. I also want to show a clip of us from 1986 or 7.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Dave, the hair was really.
That's my co-captain.
That's right. Yeah, look at this. Oh, we got Eddie Bishop in the house who's got to put his mic on because we can't hear you, buddy number 12. But yourself there. And we got Adam Polsky, number 24, Michael Loss, number 26. John Amato, he says he's the real quarterback. I don't know, Eddie. You guys got to fight it out to see. We got a couple of cool guys here, man. But this is I love an outpouring. This Midwood football, I call the community. Shirt on, Chris. We don't want to see that. That's what you got to crop the video, dude. But that's our running back, Chris Davila, number 34, one of the greatest running backs in Midwood football history. Maybe the greatest running back. Danny Lambert might dispute that, but we got some great talent here. We got a whole team here going on here. So.
Great show on with Rachel Barcelona and DJ Swoboda, two great autism advocates, and that was a really cool show, right, Kelly?
Yes.
Okay.
you are on the spectrum. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Don't let labels define you because you're not a soup can.
Because I know that I went through a lot of bullying when I was a kid, and it got so much harder in middle school, because I think that it definitely gets harder in middle school because everybody wants to fit in. Kids don't really know any better.
Times when I was bullied, called bad names, and even teased a lot too. Some very good friends of mine with autism went through the exact same thing. So deep down, just like you, Rachel, I am definitely fully devoted and dedicated to showing the world that everybody with autism and disabilities and special needs of all ages have an incredible and amazing and awesome place in this world. When I
This next segment is focused on autism dads and dads of children with special needs. My favorite comedian, Bobby Collins, and a friend of mine, CBS broadcaster, Dwayne Ballum. So let's take a look at Bobby and Dwayne.
That's raising special need kids. Bobby, your daughter, Madison's 26 now. Talk a little bit about Madison and what you've done. You've done this Comics for a Cause fundraiser for an incredible charity, Zeno Mountain Farm. So I want to hear a little bit about her story for the viewers. Let you go first.
You know, she was born with the ring chromosome of an unknown origin. That to me didn't mean anything, you know, even after taking chemistry. What we found out was it's very similar to Down syndrome. She's very low functioning. She doesn't talk. She doesn't walk very well. But when God gives you an angel with a clipped wing, it's pretty much an honor.
My son's name is Julian. And when I talk about him and all that we do now, yes, I'm involved heavily in his world and autism. And we have the Fathers Conference, which we're very proud of. And I speak around the country a lot. Now I give keynotes, and he and I are together a lot. I spend a lot of time with him. But I have to be honest and let people know it wasn't like that in the beginning.
Hey, Jen, we also celebrated Kelly the Lovey, her 18th birthday. We had a special birthday celebration from very special friends of hers. Let's take a look.
Hey there, Kelly. It is Johnny Damon and Sushi. We want to wish you a very special happy birthday.
A special friend of yours, Goose
Hey,
Gossage.
Kelly, Goose. Hey, I hope you have a good birthday and many more after that. Love you.
Rocco, we love you, all right? Have the best birthday.
Hey, Kelly, I'm here with Darryl Strawberry.
Kelly, what's up? Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one and many more, all right? Have some fun. Happy birthday.
Hey, Kelly, I'm here with Dolph Ziggler here. He's got something to say.
What's up, Kelly? I know a bunch of people are probably doing this because everyone thinks you're great, but happy birthday, Kelly!
Here's a guy that I've known since I was 13 years old. He was on 15 seasons of Animal Planet, a show called Tanked. My good buddy, Brett Raymer. Let's take a look.
Aquarium business a couple years ago. Just got a little burnt out on it, and I'm actually working on a couple of projects in regards to the aquarium business. We're working on a virtual maintenance training program, basically to teach people and kids how to maintain their aquariums virtually. So it's actually me talking to you.
And Kelly, we had one of your favorite buddies, best friends over the last 10 years, Cameron Powell, on the show. What do you think of Cammy Boo?
He's my best friend.
Yes, Cameron.
Friend Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so young in that picture.
God, that was amazing. So that's what it's all about, is seeing these kids grow up and become adults. And there's Kizzy. Kizzy was young there too. So, but yeah, they've had such an amazing friendship. And I think, as we talked about Jerry and
Cameron, can I tell you something? I love you. Great to meet you today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person.
Thank
and you too, Kelly. Great to be with you guys today. And
Thank you. We love you guys too.
The heavyweight champ of the world. We got Robin Beck.
Yep.
We got Dempsey, the young Dempsey right now.
We also did a cool segment featuring our friend Hunter Norwood and his mom Michelle, and also another Yankee legend that was on previously called Brian Doyle, who's related to Hunter. He has a little ice cream shop called what, Kelly?
A little something extra ice cream truck.
Go Hunter.
Nationally? Hey, why not?
My vision is to be able to help other special needs families and hopefully have a fleet
of these trucks in the near future so that we can expand and offer this opportunity to other families.
That is awesome. Hey, Hunter, hey, Michelle. How
Hi,
you guys
Hunter.
doing?
Hey, how are y'all?
Good.
But since we've had this ice cream truck, let me tell you what has happened. We've probably taken the truck into 50 different vacation Bible schools in 2 years. He's attended multiple. There's my sister now. I just can't even hardly talk now. But Hunter has got to take the ice cream truck into baseball tournaments and be the star of the show.
Those, Hunter and Kelly, I've got Parkinson's, and you guys have something. But that doesn't stop us from doing what God wants us to do and to have joy in doing it. And I really, really know that you two are true heroes in the game of life. Well, thank you very much. And I really love you and your family. And it's wonderful to have friends that are not only friends, but also prayer warriors and true warriors in this what's really not our home called Earth.
We also did a cool segment on Kelly's special needs dream team cheerleading team, also with Coach Jody and who, Kelly?
My flyer, Molly.
Molly's awesome.
Now, Kelly's coach, Jody, and obviously also one of her teammates, Miss Molly.
My flyer.
Hopefully her flyer is, we know we were backstage. There she is. That's Molly and her mom. So hopefully they're on it.
Like we are part of something special really made the difference for me.
We also did a great cool segment on F45 training, which I was introduced to from Mark Wahlberg, and we had Barry Sineri from F45 Wakefield on there. Great segment. The girls are an F45 prodigy, working out every day and getting strong. Let's take a look.
With Paul Wahlberg, and you might know him from the Wahlburgers show, and we want to make a shout out to the F45 studio down in Wakefield, down in Raleigh, North Carolina. 200 people signed up already. We're killing it on the workouts, and what do you say about it, Paul?
Just keep at it. It's hard, but it is so worth it, and what you get out of it is amazing.
Yeah, what does Mark say? I mean, Mark is really big behind this thing.
Mark lives F45, drives me crazy.
So, thanks for all you do at
You're
F45.
younger than I am. You're not that old. Why are you making me feel bad?
All right, sorry, buddy, but
I know it's tempting to go fall off your program, but you got to stay on the program, eat a little bit, and then go to the gym and burn it off.
Introduced me to F45, the franchise, and took a look at it, and I thought it was just absolutely fantastic and wanted to be involved. And so from there, we just kind of partnered in business to open several of these here in our area to transform our community, to think and feel and live healthier, to just increase their quality of life. And I think really F45 really provides all the tools to be able to do that. 10 years ago, we were in the process. My son had fallen ill, and we were trying to, at that point in time, at the stage of the game, trying to figure out what was going on. And just before Christmas, 10 years ago, he was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, which is a pediatric cancer. And, that was something that, obviously my family and I didn't really think that that was something we'd ever have to face. He battled that very hard for about a year, passed away just short of his 3rd birthday, going on near 10 years ago. And, that's really truly at the core of why I do what I do.
We also did a really cool segment on Mission B, an organization I've been a board member for the last 5 years, focused on mindfulness. We had Corinne Winter, my high school teammate, football teammate, Dave Paris. We had Ursula Koffer.
Is Corinne Winter, who's the founder, executive director of Mission B, launched it in 2013, impacted schools all over the country, and helps children regulate emotions and mindfulness training, and serves as an antidote to stress, violence, bullying, and addiction, and especially critical now given the uncertainty of the pandemic. Also, Corinne, I just want to make sure I introduce 2 high school classmates of mine that have also done mindfulness in the New York City school system, so Board of Education. So Dave Paris will be joining, and Ursula Koffer.
It's a mindfulness training, working with Ursula last year, and introducing that this year to my students. I'm not an expert. I'm still studying it and working on it myself. And I could talk for a lot, but that's, yeah.
Well, we hope to get you involved, Dave, with Mission B. We talked a lot about over the last year with what Corinne is doing. And Ursula, the program that you've been working on, the project, is School for Mindful Inquiry. I think given the pandemic and what we're all going through right now, I know it has remote learning based.
The school team is a compilation of teachers, students, parents, community members, local elected officials, and the kids actually designed 12 different schedules before COVID around remote learning. And
so on the topic of addiction recovery, my very good friend Grant Fuhr, NHL Hall of Famer, 5-time Stanley Cup winner. Great episode we did with Grant and a bunch of other guys. Let's take a look.
For myself, I'm an alumni of the Betty Ford Center. I was there in '89, went through the program, and the team had been friends with Mr. and Mrs. Ford from the early '80s on. We came out to Palm Springs every year and got a chance to spend some time with them and learn a little bit about it. But at the time, you never really thought you'd ever need it. And '89, I made a journey through there and spent a lot of time learning about myself. More than anything is that I had to learn how to like myself. I mean, as an athlete, you love the game, you love everything around the game, but sometimes you lose yourself in that. And it gave me a great opportunity to find myself and find out what the real issue was.
Plus, we had Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Ricky Byrd, formerly of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, focused on addiction recovery as well. Let's take a look at our friend Ricky.
Came out like in September, on September 25th, which is my 33rd clean and sober anniversary.
Congratulations. Very good.
Thank you. And so I've been doing interviews like since September, and you know, like at the beginning, like you start telling stories, you're telling this and that, and I kind of, after a while, I narrowed it down to this. I did too much, too often, and by the grace of God, I got out before it was too late.
My dear friend Jeff Juden, formerly of the New York Yankees, a bunch of other great baseball teams over the years. Jeff is a recovering alcoholic as well, has done addiction recovery and is doing Let's Rock Sports, his great podcast. Let's take a look at my friend Jeff.
Yeah, my journey, you know, the real issue for me was pretty much alcohol and struggling with injuries, you know, drank and, you know, took the painkiller to try to overcome the injuries and stuff and get out and stay on the field. And, you know, it just, I'm coming up on 10 years in January.
God bless.
And, Mike, you've been on there, man. I appreciate, you know, all that you're doing. And you know, you got me back in the loop where I was out of it for a long time. And I want to thank you, Mike, for bringing me back in and having me be a part of it with all you guys and you know, introducing me to some great people here that have similar stories. And, you know,
One of our also cool segments we did was around I Define, which is my friend Jeff Ryan, who's formed this charity. They really help kids with genetic defects, Kleefstra syndrome, and it was a really cool organization. So let's take a look at Jeff.
Jeff, incredible stuff as a fellow dad doing awesome things for your little girl. There's 500 known cases, right, of Kleefstra syndrome, and I think the first diagnosis was 10 years ago.
Now taking that and putting all that energy and effort behind helping my daughter, I mean, sign me up 10 times out of 10, right? So this opportunity has been created where I can now devote myself to this effort.
And we did a great segment with my friend Nabate Isles, who's a Grammy Award winner, does actually the theme music for the show. And he did an ode to Chadwick Boseman, who we lost last year. And let's take a look at my buddy Nabate. Back to boxing, we had a guest on who lives in North Carolina, James Bone Crusher Smith, former heavyweight champion of the world, has a great organization called Champions for Kids. Let's take a look at Bone Crusher.
Dude, recognize you, man, as a boxing legend down in Myrtle Beach again. You need to come on back down to Myrtle Beach, man.
Bone, I'd love to come back down. Life is good. The heavyweight champion of the world right there, Bone Crusher Smith.
That's right.
It'd be great to have you come up and rub elbows with us up there in Hoboken, New Jersey in June, right?
Yeah, I come up there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What's the date?
June 5.
June
5.
Privilege. Chadwick Boseman and I have connections in Anderson, South Carolina. Our families, my grandmother was born and raised in Anderson, South Carolina. My cousin knew Chadwick Boseman since he was a child and knows his family very well. So I spent a lot of time in Anderson when I was young. And then finally Chadwick and I crossed paths at the Blue Note Jazz Club in October 2018. And we spoke about our connections and had a great conversation. But what was really special about this man was that he prided himself on playing strong African-American roles. He was part of 3 great biopics, which featured Jackie Robinson, 42, Thurgood Marshall in the film Marshall, and also we had to put our talents out for Chadwick, and it was so important. And the proceeds are going to the Chadwick Boseman Charitable Fund for the Arts as well.
Chadwick, his legacy will never be, he'll always be remembered for the great actor he was, the great humanitarian he was. I want people to remember that. And obviously, we're both blessed to have met him. You knew him better than I did. But I think, obviously, through his connection with Denzel Washington, great.
Another great segment on addiction recovery featuring my friend Tony LaGreca. Lost his son Matt to opioid addiction. He's going after Big Pharma, the Sackler family from Purdue Pharma. Great show as well. So let's take a look at Tony.
The Sackler family is the people that I dedicated my life to go after my son died. I actually went 2 directions. I went one direction with Jim Wahlberg, where we're making movies to educate high school kids about the dangers of opioids. That's our primary target, is dangers of opioids, because those addictions, opioids are the worst drug you could possibly take, because it doesn't take 2 or 3 months to get addicted. It takes, like my son took 1 prescription, and after 1 prescription from a college football injury, he was hooked. He was hooked until he died. And it all started with Richard Sackler.
And we had my F45 teammate, Dawn Purcell Sweeter, who was on talking about her daughter, Gabby, who lost her fight with opioid addiction as well. Great touching story. Let's take a look.
Thank you guys so much, Mike, for having me. And I'm in awe of all the people that I'm here with. Gabrielle spent most of her life having issues with mental illness, and really couldn't figure out what the issue was, and went to so many counselors, so many therapists, and when we found the perfect pediatric neurologist, knew exactly what she was going through, put her on the exact combination of what she needed, and she was on it for about a week, and I had my daughter back. And but what she told me was, I can't take these meds because they make my brain fog. And so this brilliant kid who probably could have become the president of the United States succumbed to fighting every day, trying to figure out all the things that were going on in her brain. And initially went to pills, which like the oxycodone, which she would get off the street. And when that became too expensive, she then went to heroin.
And Kelly works with somebody named Mary Lee, who's a dear woman who has an organization called Purple Ivy Solutions, and great story about employing kids with disabilities. So let's take a look at Mary.
So, but we wanted to inculcate a lot of different things within the company that for young adults with disabilities, but we also cater to military personnel, both of our fathers being in the military, but also helping out cancer patients, and always just being of service to our community and giving back.
Okay, so Dads and Daughters Season 2 coming back at you next Sunday. So look forward to seeing you all, and Happy New Year. Say goodbye to Gizzy.